What's poppin', Carolina Nation and Pantherologists? Welcome to today's episode of Pantherology. The Panthers 2021 draft, franchise quarterback secured in the latest 7-round mock draft. So, which means in the latest mock draft that I have done, we secured a franchise quarterback with the number 8th pick. So, before we get into today's video, pound that like button, pound the subscribe button, comment down below, let me know what you think at the end of the video, and click that post notifications bell so you can get the new videos when they come out. So, now, let's dive into this video, alright? First things first, will the Carolina Panthers select a quarterback in the 2021 NFL Draft? The Carolina Panthers are under increasing pressure to take a quarterback of the future in the 2021 NFL Draft. Now, Teddy Bridgewater's play just hasn't done enough to convince people that he is the man to lead the team moving forward. But although the franchise appears stuck with the signal caller until 2022 due to the 3-year deal he signed last year, it would be a huge statement of intent for the Panthers if they went in this particular direction. Now, the chances of Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields being around by the time Carolina selects at number 8 overall appears bleak, and leaving the decision makers looking at other alternatives if they come to the conclusion that Bridgewater will be surplus to requirements sooner rather than later. There is also the incoming general manager to consider. Carolina fired Monty Rice shortly before their season came to a conclusion. And this fresh set of ideas with more analytical approach is another notable element to this that shouldn't be overlooked. So let's go with the first pick, right? Franchise quarterback, Zach Wilson out of BYU. There aren't many prospects drawing more attention coming into the NFL this year than Zach Wilson. The BYU quarterback enjoyed a phenomenal 2020 season that has resulted in a surge up draft boards as a result. So with a solid evaluation process, he could end up being a top 5 selection when it's all said and done. Now, Wilson has all the tools needed to forge a successful career at the next level. Now, his ability to conjure up plays out of nothing and move the football effortlessly down the field is something that really sets the prospect apart. And this exciting method of play is something the Panthers haven't seen at any stage from Bridgewater. So much will depend on whether Wilson drops this far. The Falcons or Lions might decide to take him before the Panthers get the chance, given where Matthew Stafford and Matt Ryan are in their respective careers. So the next pick, Samuel Cosmi, I think that's how you pronounce it, the offensive tackle out of Texas. The Carolina Panthers are going to go through some big changes on their offensive line this offseason. Now, there are some questions surrounding every starter for various reasons, and it would be a surprise if the front office didn't address this with additional recruits in the 2021 NFL Draft. Samuel Cosmi makes a ton of sense here and is a high-value pick early in the second round. His level of production at Texas in 2020 was nothing short of superb, and his improved consistency is something that might have elevated some doubts about his potential coming in and immediately contribute. There isn't much chance of Russell Okung coming back due to his big salary, and unreliability to stay healthy. So a future left tackle should be one of the team's top priorities. Next pick, Trevon Moehrig, the safety out of TCU. Now, Trey Boston and Justin Burris struggled at times during this season, but there is a chance that stud rookie Jeremy Chin moves back into the secondary after starring at outside linebacker in 2020. Now, however, the Carolina Panthers might decide to bring in another body to further bolster this critical area of the field, and someone with the exceptional skill set of Trevon Moehrig comes with a tremendous amount of upside. Moehrig is a ball hawk who possesses fluid movement and high football intelligence in equal measure. The improvements made to this tackling make him a useful asset in run support, and prospect also possesses the ability to assist in man coverage. But much will depend on whether Burris is released, but this would be a smart way to go regardless. All right, next pick, Christian Barmore, defensive tackle out of Alabama. Now, getting a long-term replacement for Derek Brown is something else for the Carolina Panthers to consider this offseason. Kawan Short is likely to be released due to his whopping $20.88 million salary cap figure next season. And although Zach Kerr has done well deputizing, whether he is the answer beyond 2021 remains to be seen. Now, Christian Barmore is an outstanding prospect who might go a lot higher than 4th round. His power off the block is extraordinary, and the player's ability to get after the quarterback from the interior has resulted in 7 sacks, so far ahead of the national championship game. Barmore's talent seems to complement Brown extremely well, even if he's still a little rough around the edges. The Panthers also have the option to extend Efe Abada as a 3-technique rusher during free agency, which would be another welcome boost to this area of the field. Next pick, I like this pick, and I picked him in my last mock draft. Monty Rice, the linebacker out of Georgia. Now, taking a linebacker was seen as an essential need for Carolina earlier in the campaign. This was thanks in no small part to the dismal performances of Tahir Whitehead, but since Jermaine Carter was installed as a starter, things have, I think, picked up enormously at the second level. With that being said, the Panthers could still do with some enhanced depth across the linebacker corps. Monty Rice has 4 years of college experience at Georgia under his belt and does have some intriguing skills to call upon. Rice is explosive enough in short bursts to create pressure in opposing backfields and does well in coverage situations. He might be a little undersized for the next level, but this will all be extra motivation, providing there isn't too much pressure put on the player's shoulders early in his transition. Next pick, Robert Hainsey, the offensive guard out of Notre Dame. Now, as stated previously, the Carolina Panthers are facing some big changes to their offensive line, especially on the interior. Chris Reed, John Miller are unlikely to be brought back, and center Matt Paradis could be a salary cap casualty despite showing some improvements in 2020. Robert Hainsey enjoyed a tremendous season at Notre Dame and can play at guard or as an edge protector. His huge frame probably means the player is more suited to the interior, and he could end up being a plug and play starter in the NFL with a smooth transition. Next pick, Roger McCreary. I think I'm pronouncing these names right. Sorry, guys. Corner out of Auburn. Outside of number one option Dante Jackson, there are still some serious doubts surrounding their cornerback unit. Now, Rasul Douglas and Corn Elder are out of contract, with Stanley Thomas Oliver and Troy Pride Jr. taking some time to adjust to the rigors of the NFL during their rookie campaigns. Roger McCreary is a solid value pickup here. He comes from an accomplished program that might have struggled somewhat in 2020, but that should not detract from the eye-catching film the prospect has put together. And thanks to his length and athleticism, next pick, Dyami Brown, the wide receiver of North Carolina. Guys, if I'm killing these names, I'm sorry. Losing Curtis Samuel seems inevitable given Carolina's current salary cap situation. This might have been different, and had it not been for COVID-19 revenue losses, and although it's not ideal, the Panthers just have to get on with it. Selecting Brown would be hugely popular. The North Carolina wide receiver has accumulated back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and although he doesn't possess Samuel's explosiveness, the Panthers could do far worse than look in his direction this spring. So guys, that is my latest mock draft for the Carolina Panthers this week. Pound that like button, pound the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on the raw content. Guys, I'm going to keep putting stuff out here like this. My mind is all over the place, trying to be creative here, trying to throw some different stuff at y'all. But anyways, Panther Nation, all my Pantherologists, keep pounded.